It has come to my attention that some of you down that lens are suffering from a condition known as winter golf. Symptoms may include burning sensation in the fingers when hitting thin iron shots, and inability to go outside and golf because it's cold. But because I'm in here in beautiful Arizona, I know nothing of such winter golf syndrome, and I am enjoying 72-degree weather. But rest assured, just because I am dressed in green does not make me a Grinch. I am going to show you some of my favorite indoor practice drills. So head on down to your car, grab those clubs, and let's do it right now. Thank you very much for tuning in to my YouTube channel. My name is Kenny. You may know me as Kennie Kat. I am a competitive golfer, and my goal is to help you improve your golf faster by learning from some of my successes and also some of my failures. If you want to know what training aids, what practice guides, and what tips that I'm going through that could possibly help you improve your game, hit that subscribe button below. I do release free videos every single week. Now, I know many of you down that lens are in colder climates. I myself am from Chicago. I do live in sunny Arizona now, not to rub it in your faces, but I get the fact that you're at home, you want to golf, and you want to keep your game sharp, but you can't because it's probably negative whatever degrees outside or it's snow on the ground and you don't really have the opportunity. And since I assume most of you are sane and not absolute lunatics, you're probably not going to go golf in the snow. So I figured I would show you a couple of ideas that I've put together over the past few years of what I do indoors to keep my game nice and tight throughout the winter. So when you get back onto the course in the spring, your game isn't all over the place and it takes you less time to get back to normal. And of course, we're going to start from the hole back. Let's go with the putter. Now, there will be some things in this video that I'm going to recommend that you purchase. You don't have to buy them, but I will include links to everything below. There are a lot of cheap alternatives, but again, it's just an idea of what I've worked with, and I will do my best to show you some things that you can use at home to improvise while you are working indoors. I'm going to start with one of my favorite and probably the cheapest putting aid you can possibly buy, and that is my 4-foot metal ruler. This thing is absolutely perfect for working on your putting stroke indoors. It's even got a little hole right here so that you can keep the ball on it. You set this thing anywhere in your house on a flat surface and you roll putts down the end of this. And that is absolutely going to make sure that you keep your ability to start the ball on the right line very, very good throughout the winter. I like to keep this in my office, roll a few putts on it, and the best part about it is when I set it down, laying it against this flat edge helps me understand when my putter face is square to my intended start line. And if you can get that ball down the front to the back of this ruler without it falling off either side, that means you're rolling it pretty straight. And you'll also know if it falls off to the left, you're closing your face. If it falls off to the right, you're opening your face. So it gives you great feedback, and it is something that I do consistently, and I would recommend that you do indoors while you are not able to golf during the winter. Now, my second putting tool, and many of you down this lens know I'm a huge fan of this, is the Birdie ball putting mat. I have a simple 10-foot by 1 foot in my house. I leave it in my office. I move it to the living room, wherever I can fit it in that doesn't annoy my girlfriend too much. And it really helps me work on those 5-foot and 8-foot putts. I've got mine marked with a permanent marker at 5 feet and 8 feet. And those are the two distances that I just happen to choose to work on indoors. Yours might be 4 feet, yours might be 3 feet, whatever you feel comfortable with. But I mark mine at 5 feet and 8 feet, and those are the putts that I work on religiously because I want to make sure that I am as effective as possible inside of 8 feet. Another tool that I have added to my birdie ball to make my practice more effective and also kind of, bleed in starting it online and rolling it at a pretty good pace is the PuttOut mirror and the putting gate. I absolutely love this tool because not only does it help me identify if I'm hitting the ball straight to where I intend to start it, but it's really difficult and it does put a lot of pressure on my putting game and makes me feel very confident out on the green. You set this bad boy up about a foot out, I believe, and at 1 foot from the ball, you need to start it within a degree. I never go any further than 2 feet out with the gate because at that distance, you need to keep it on line, I think like within a quarter of a tenth of it, within a quarter of a degree. And At 8 feet, as long as you're within a degree or so, you're probably gonna hold the putt. There's no need to be that accurate. I normally set it up at 1 foot to get warmed up and then set it up at 2 feet as I keep it going. But I absolutely love this. And in addition to the gate, I love the PuttOut mirror. I think the PuttOut mirror is absolutely fantastic. The lines on there really help me get my eyes straight and really help me understand, you know, if I'm looking, if my shoulders are square to my target line and if I'm looking at the putt really well. It's just all in all a really good tool. And these in combination make for a really good practice setup when you're trying to practice putts from 5 feet and 8 feet and making sure that you're starting it on line. You work on this indoors and I guarantee if you do it enough, you get proficient with it. When you get out onto the course in the springtime, when they do open up in whatever area or region that you live, your putting from inside of 8 feet will be solid. And then the final thing you can work on is some pace and speed control with your putter. If you happen to have a long hallway or some carpet that is relatively low pile, I like to set up a couple of targets and just see if I can roll my ball, you know, to my further distance, to my shorter distance, or just play distance games and try to see how many putts I can get inside of a certain window. There's not a lot of carpet in my place, so I'm really kind of limited to practicing putts inside of 8 feet. But if you do happen to have a long hallway with a lot of carpet, this is a great drill that'll help you keep your feels of putter speed control a lot more consistent through the winter. So that way when you get back onto those greens in the springtime, you're not hitting putts 20 feet short or 20 feet past the hole. All right, the next thing we're gonna talk about is short game, which is my absolute favorite thing to practice in the house. Hopefully if you have significant others or children, they don't typically mind you hitting chips throughout the house. I am gonna recommend that you do use foam balls, not real balls, but let me show you how I like to practice chipping, and I just love to get very creative with it. And it's one of my most favorite things to do inside of the house. It's probably why my short game and chipping game is so good. So first things first, there's a couple things you want, and I apologize for the echo. My ceilings are very loud in here. First things first, you want to get yourself one of these mats. Again, I'll throw a link to the product on Amazon below. You can get these things for like 10, 15 bucks. All it is just a little cheap plastic, you know, fake grass mat. And you want to set this down because obviously you've got hardwood floors or carpet, whatever the case may be. You don't want to ruin your floors hitting chips. And I've hit enough golf clubs indoors on carpet to know that, yeah, you will ruin some stuff if you consistently hit through it. So set one of these down. Foam balls only. I cannot stress how important this is. Do not be coming back to me in the comment section because your significant other's upset that you broke her vase or a TV or whatever the heck it is you break in the house. Do yourself a favor. Don't be cheap. Go on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. These little foam squishy balls, they're absolutely perfect. Do not chip with real balls in the house. You end up with some very serious issues. Aha. Aha. All right, I'm gonna grab my 50 and my 60 here, and I'm just gonna move this bag. Oh. If you're gonna be chipping indoors, just make sure you do a nice, slow, and exaggerated extended arms, like full swing. Make sure you've got clearance on every side. I know you're just hitting simple chip shots, but you wanna make sure, okay, let me make sure I can't hit the light, and I'm talking about really stretch it out. Make sure you've got a clean area to move that club fluidly through, even though you're only gonna be hitting simple chip shots. Trust me. I like to just get creative with it, get myself warmed up. I'm just literally looking in the living room. I'm trying to envision how the ball's gonna fly in targets. I like that little blue chair back there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw a couple balls and I'm gonna try to land this ball in that blue chair. And you're literally just going through your entire routine just as you would on a golf course. So I'm gonna hit this. Okay, so I threw that a little too high over the chair, but it was on line. I'm gonna go ahead and grab another ball. Just look at it. All right, I wanna go on the chair again. Still throwing it too hard. But the idea here is that you start to get really good with your height and your trajectory and controlling your shots. I'm gonna hit another one. Now I'm just getting lower just a little bit. Ah, there we go. I almost got it on now. But you get the point. Try to pick a target, and you can even change the club. I'm gonna go to a 56 instead of a 60. All right, I like to hit my 56 lower, so I'm gonna try to chip it under the chair. So I'm gonna go over the coffee table, and I'm gonna go under the chair. So I'm gonna just lean it a little forward. Oh, almost. And like you can see, you get like really creative with it, and it's fun and exciting to see the kind of stuff you can play. Even though they're fake foam balls, you start to see how they react to the club face. Like that ball spun back very fast. So I know that that shot's gonna add a lot of spin, and you start to get an idea for how the ball reacts, and it really gives you good feedback and a good database up here so that when you're on the course, you start getting a little bit more creative with your short side chip shots. I'm actually gonna go recollect these balls because I've got a little basket here. I'm gonna throw the basket down and I'm gonna try to hit a couple chip shots into the basket. This is where you really start to get control of trajectory and strike and direction. Oh, so close. All right, let's see if we can do that again. We got the same thing. I'm just trying to get it off the toe. Let it just spin up a little bit. Oof. Oh, these are so close. They're like basically in the bucket. I just need to get it to drop just ever so slightly into the bucket. Come on. Oh, come on. Hit the rim. All right, well, 2 of them hit the bucket, 1 hit the rim. It's close enough, but you get the idea. Like, you think of these creative games and you just try to really get your mind excited, and after a while you'll sit here and you'll spend 20, 30 minutes just trying to get it in that little stupid bucket, and that over time you realize how much more confident you become around the greens when you can hit a target that's the size of, I don't know, that's maybe the size of a small dinner plate, like not even a big dinner plate, a small dinner plate. But be creative all around the house, high shots, low shots, little bump and runs. You don't need to hit the ball far to keep the chipping game tight. It's really about focusing on that strike, understanding the loft that you're delivering, understanding how the ball reacts to the club. And then from there, I guarantee you do this indoors, your chipping game is gonna be, it's gonna be right where you want it to be when you get back out on the course in the spring. And of course, last but not least, you know I'm a huge advocate of doing mirror drills, removing the ball, just working on your general swing movements and body movements. I've always done that indoors, and I find that it greatly improves my ability to strike and hit the ball and have swings come through on the course. Get in front of the mirror, do some sandwich drills, work with a few training aids in front of the mirror. I think working away from the ball on your swing in the winter is super, super valuable stuff that you could be doing, and it's something that shouldn't be overlooked even if you can't hit balls into a net or whatever the case may be. Working on your swing at really slow speeds has been proven to build those memory connections that will help you translate that swing onto the course. Filming in broad daylight is really crappy in Arizona because it's the only day that a cloud decides to come out and it keeps messing up all my lighting settings. Neither here nor there. Question time. I'd love to hear from some of you down that lens. What type of indoor drills do you do to keep your game fresh when you can't make it out onto the course? Let me know in that comment section below. Would love to hear from you. That's really all I got for you down that lens. As always, thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Deuces, people. Let's keep it moving.